Freelancer and Freelancer Max in German. This time it's in English to open it up a little for others. And also, JR is always complaining that he can't understand a single word of my unboxings. Hello, JR. The model in question this time is a Freelancer DIORAMA manufactured by JRDF from the game Star Citizen. The cost for this model kit are €138.95. Don't forget, you have to add customs and shipping costs. So, let's begin. The box obviously has some legal prints on the one side, some pictures on the back, and the limitation sticker on the last side, because only 500 will be made, nothing more. Go away sleeve. The box itself for the model is a bit lasered by JRDF. The first 10 boxes will get your name onto the box and obviously the number. Has a magnetic lock, very nice. The first thing which reads you is a little envelope with lots of paper stuff. A certification card, again with the model number and the handwritten signatures of Wild and JR. A decal sheet. And a piece of sandpaper. A nice thank you card. Violet Rain, thank you for your continued support. We really do appreciate every single order, so thank you again, Celts. Thank you, Celts. And thank you, JR. And the last piece of the envelope is of course the building manual in nice paper, not a cheap thin one, in color, with very nice pictures. And they even tell you how to use the magnets. Don't be a fool, look into it. And a little piece of lore in the middle of it. Very nice done. The last piece of paper is just a little manual for the decal sheet. Who wants this? Some foam, some thank you foam, and the model parts themselves. Oh, these are the engine parts, left and right. Very nice details on them. The panel lines are really sharp and clear and deep. I'm not sure if you can see any printing lines whatsoever. Ah yeah, here they are on the round piece. But, well, that's okay. You won't see it in the after you build it. Very nice done. Some rings with the giant fuel tanks on them. And one damaged rocket for me. The tip broke off. Not that dramatic. Remember, if you have some issues or broken pieces or anything else, contact JR, or on their website there is some replacement form. Use this. You won't even pay shipping for the parts you broke, got missing or damaged through shipping or whatsoever. Make use of it. Don't be afraid. The what are these called? The landing legs. Well, one's snapped off already. That's fine. Also nicely done. You're getting two sets, one with landing legs deployed and one retracted, because you can interchange them with magnets. And these are the holes for them. A really good idea of a company, of a model kit company, to include this right from the beginning. And these are the magnets. So you don't have to drill holes, buy magnets, and glue them in. Well, gluing in, obviously you have to do, but this is a company who is building the model kits right from the beginning with this in mind. Games Workshop isn't doing this. Why? The pieces of the stand. The base plate of the stand with a nice Star Citizen logo on it. Yeah, it's nice and sharp. More foam. And the last parts. Obviously, this must be JR's favorite part. It is the MISC spoiler. Please, JR, tell me, why is this on every MISC ship? What is it for? I don't know the purpose of it. The big cockpit section. Another really great printing lines, not to find, but nice panel lines. Holes for the magnets. The venting lines are also really great. Sharp and clear. I will put some pictures of them on the screen right now, so you can see it for yourself. The rear cargo hatch door with the MISC logo on it. The engines. I really like this detail on of the shielding. This is great, really, I love it. The cockpit itself is also 4 seats, and the display is not bad. Don't know what these are, haven't read the manual yet. And this is the side door. Some giant bombs to bomb away unwanted outposts, aka fuel tanks, because you don't need to have weapons on exploration ships. But we all know these are bombs. The front landing leg, also with magnets, or build it with magnets in mind. The main body part, if I can get it out. Yeah, this is a really good idea, I like. To separate the external from the internal. So you can easily paint the internal section and slide it into the external one. It feels a bit sticky. If you encounter some stickiness on your model kit, wash it with soap and then it should be fine. Don't lick it though. Yeah, the parts seem totally fine, no damage. And the little lines inside the interior section are sharp and clear, as they should be. The glass parts. From the cockpit, the turret, and obviously the top of the cockpit. And these two things are really a nice idea. Again, these two ones are made clear for lightening up your model. Well, where is it? These two parts belong into the rear section of the engines, so you can place some LEDs behind it put some battery in here, and then you have some lightning, and that's nice. You can really tell that these model kits are made by a fan who is doing such stuff, or has a great connection to the community which is doing such stuff. Oh, the turrets. Well, the side turrets, obviously. Recent supports. One has broken, but the model itself is fine. And the last piece with all the guns. Nice attritions here. Maybe a bit small. I want bigger ones. The front sensor array. If you sharpen it, you can pierce your enemy with it. The top turret. Now I can see some printing lines. Maybe it is because of the color of the resin. I really can't tell. And the side entry door and ladder. Really not bad work. I really like it. Oh, these are all the parts and pieces of this nice model kit. Remember, links are in the description below. And if you want to order something, I will also give you a link for, what was it, 5% off or something. You don't have to use it, I only get some JVREC points or something like this. I can't do much with it right now, but who knows what they bring in the future. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe till the next time. That's all from me. Bye.
Hey up, how do? Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone who is joining us this evening, and there's a lot of you already. My friend underneath me here is Westbrook Drew. You all know who he is.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I think all our audio is working for once. No technical issues
Wow.
so far. All good, all good.
Excellent.
Jesus, so many of you. Kraken, Patch, Nighthawk. Yes, you do need to get on with those rules. Unknown Bagel. Thank you very much for joining us. Your first stream after purchasing a PTV. Congratulations. Zuckerhurt, Shadow Scout, Wyborg, Norgeek, Nougatine, Jim. I think that's a really dark colour on my blank screen. Mini Flames, Norgeek, Paul 3 Keys, Golden Triangle, Hasgahar, McAfee, Commander Fran. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys are all exceedingly welcome here tonight. This has been a long week. Can you tell how much coffee I've had? It's been a long week.
I can tell. Yes.
It's been a long week. We don't have time to hang about because there's so much to do. So we've got 3 giveaways to do. And I suddenly realised I've had to tweak all the timings of these giveaways so that we can get 2 done before stuff goes on sale. So we need to get the first one of those going right away. So
right now.
Yes, right now. So basically, we have these things called JRECs, which is our sort of site currency. And basically, you can use said currency to...
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist...
Unknown
we will look
Bagel,
at the evidence.
thanks for the follow.
Thank you indeed. Too much coffee. What am I typing? Type something, John. That's what I want. Right, so...
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
Thank you for the follow. I can't see who that is because it's on top of my screen.
Gin and tonic.
Thank you very much. What a great name. What a great name.
That is a great name.
So I really wish, if anyone knows how, to turn off the hotkeys on Chrome, because I use like control numbers as my hotkeys in OBS. So when I click control 1, it moves which tab on Chrome I'm on.
Oh no!
It's like, so I have to remember to pull them out as actual individual tabs in Windows so that he doesn't move. Anyway, so we have 2 products that are now purchasable with JREX. The first of which is personalized boxes. The second of which is the Invictus posters. So we did these Invictus posters as a bit of a promotion with Board Gamer back when Invictus Week was on. Because of the nature of artwork, we had a lot printed, and we've got a lot left. So we thought, hey, while we're waiting for the permissions for the.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
That tall panda?
It is Tall Panda. I'm just having to fix your camera here a second, because you are.
Gotcha.
Oh, what are you doing? I don't understand. There's a tiny like bar underneath you. I don't understand why. It's
strange.
That is really weird. Why can't I? Oh, that's really weird. I don't seem to be able to move you at all. That's really that's really unsettling. Hey ho, we'll just have to go. So if that's the only technical issue we have, that's fine. So
we're good.
We're good. So the way you add these to your basket is you go down to the left-hand corner of the screen. You click on Rewards. I need to log in, apparently. Excuse me while I log in. There we go. It's not helped by the fact, of course, I'm logged into Shopify, so it all does crazy things. Ignore all my test ones here. But down at the bottom, we have personalized laser box and artwork prints Invictus. I only have 10 points at the moment. So they are 250 points for this set of 4 posters. Artwork prints, I do apologize. And they just get added to your basket. Now, you do have to pay, if you were to put them in your basket on their own, that you would pay shipping as normal. So it's well worth throwing them in with other stuff. They don't weigh a lot, so they don't really add anything to the shipping. But obviously, we still have to pay for shipping. So it's a good thing to throw in with other things. So without further ado, let's give away enough JREX to purchase these artwork prints, because that's what I was getting at through all of this debacle, which was this one. So let's hit start giveaway. Now, I will say this. Something we discovered last stream was that if you are subbed, you get 10 tickets. If you're only following, you only get 1 ticket. I'm all for perks for subs. Now, if you are only a follower and you...
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately. But if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
Dragnir 79. Thank you.
Thank you for the follow. If you do the exclamation mark, whatever it is, to trigger the ticket, and then sub, it won't let you do it again because there's only 1 ticket per person. So if there's 3 giveaways, if you're going to sub to get 10 tickets in all of these giveaways, make sure you do it before you exclamation mark ticket, because otherwise you won't get it in that round. I can't remember who it was last week. We discovered this. There was nothing I could do once the competition had started. So that's fair warning to you. So I'm going to get that going. It's only going for 20 minutes because we've got to get 2 giveaways in before we launch the stuff in 53 minutes time. So we're on the clock.
Yes.
We are on the clock. So how are you? Now that I've rambled
I'm fantastic. I'm doing great. Yeah, so just been spending some time in the mountains, and like we were talking about earlier, I went over to Vermont for a little bit and hung out with my cousins, and it was really nice just to chill and enjoy some time up here and relax a little bit. So
Fantastic. Thank you very much for the 2 subs, Vexmo and Gardening 79. I'm shit with names. And I've finished all my coffee now, and I've got a beer for later on, but that might get cracked open. I've even got my, I've even got the good old 3D printed bottle opener on the go. See, stop it.
We got to make one of those.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
So much for subtlety. I love that name. Thank you for the follow.
That's great.
Yes, cool. Right. So, what else is going on in the world? We've got these things, these little model things. Beautifully
that happened.
Painted by Lupercal.
JR might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
And the subscription. Thank you.
You guys, if you own social media, will be sick and tired of our names today. Because I've put out more tweets and Facebooks and Insta faces than I ever have in my life today, hyping up these models. So apologies if you're always going to tune in and buy models. You've just been sold out all day, but they're all here. The most we've ever launched all in one day. It's fantastic. Awesome. So that's that. When Kraken come? So it's a good question. It's a very common question. I can't wait to get the Kraken out.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist...
When Kraken gets released?
Yes, when the Kraken gets released, basically, is the quick answer to that, because at the end of the day, we can't do any models that aren't flight ready in game, basically, because... Do you kind of still have the 1-to-1 Dragonfly? No, we don't. The 1-to-1 Dragonfly is in Austin in a box, or maybe LA in a box. I'm not quite sure. It's in a box. It's in the box. We air freighted it to Austin, and we put it all back in the box, and then it went away. It was supposed to go into the Austin office. That was always the plan. We were building it for CitizenCon, and then we were going to literally after the event take it down to Bee Cave and install it in the office. And in those 3 months from us getting commissioned to do it to getting to the CitizenCon, they'd employed another 40 people or something ludicrous. There was no room for it anymore. They'd put desks where the Dragonfly was going. The thing's 7 meters long. It's massive. So there's no room for it. So they were going to be getting the next bit of the building. And by the time they did that, they'd already employed too many people. So it still hasn't managed to emerge from its cocoon. I'm really kind of hoping we get to bring it back to the UK at some point. It all comes down to legalness. So after, I think, 3 or 4 years, I think it's 3 years.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you. I think after 3 years, we can bring it back without having to pay import duty on it again. Because the thing is, because we exported it out, if we bring it back, we'd have to import it back again and basically pay 25% import duty on it. And it wasn't cheap. So, but after 3 years, you can write it off. And because it's 3 years old and you're bringing an asset back between 2 companies you own, all the rest of it.
JL might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Again, thank you for this.
Let's say thank you for gifting that sub to Kraken. Thank you very much. So hopefully we can bring it back, repaint it, maybe in a new skin, one of the new Dragonfly skins, either the white or the black or something like that. I really like the new skins for the Dragonfly. So it'd be nice to redo all that. It'd be great. It'd be great to get it back. I'm not really looking forward to seeing the Kraken again. I've got to be honest. Unji said, really curious to see how much the Kraken will change when it's made flyable. I imagine a fair amount. I mean, a lot of that, when you look closely, is actually bits of caterpillars. So I think they will certainly do a lot of refactoring of the engine. Certainly, a lot of the greebly bits are all stolen. I imagine the flight decks will probably stay roughly the same. I can't see them doing what they'd... So one thing I did really realise with the Kraken, so they're getting rid of landing pads everywhere else on the space stations and everything, but presumably the Kraken is keeping them?
Yeah, they're giving them back to the Kraken. That's where they're all going. They're getting stolen and just on the Kraken.
On. So it'll be interesting because the Kraken will be the only place with landing pads. Because everything else, I think, or maybe Outposts are probably still keeping them.
Yeah, probably. And you can still land on the pads at Grimhacks. Like, they still function.
Yeah, but they are going to get rid of them. They're replacing all landing pads with hangars. So there won't be any landing pads on space stations and stuff. It's all going like New Babbage and stuff is all hands. Just to make clear, I have to redeem the R-Way Prince Invictus first, then place my normal order, and it checks out. Yeah, so you'll see it in your basket. So when you use the thing in the bottom left with the rewards, you click it, and I think you click redeem, and it should appear as an item in your basket. And basically, that is the only way you can get it to go into the basket. Is how it works. So yeah, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So, other things we're going to try and quickly do today. I'm going to run over
Rapid
here.
fire.
I'm in this camera now. Right. One of the things I think Patch, it was either Patch or Golden Triangles, wanted to see more failures because people love to see other people fail, which I guess is a thing. I guess.
I got boxes of failures if you want to see them.
Yeah, boxes and boxes. That is generally one of the things which we're trying to. I'll go and get one. One of the things we are trying to do with. I've got to be careful which box I pick up.
Yeah.
Just because, just in case there's secret things in it. This is the 1 to 40 box. It's got a lot in it. These are all cyclone bodies. Grey cyclone bodies. That's a weird thing because they didn't end up getting printed in grey, so that was obviously a test print. Wheels galore. So basically we had this big issue where we ended up with resin pooling on the inside and not noticing, so there's literally 100 wheels. Loads of tyres stuck together. That was an interesting failure. Yeah, so but this is a full IKEA cube. Full IKEA cube of broken bits. We don't throw any of them away. It's a bit of a grey cat. We don't throw any of it away because we don't want to. And what I would love to be able to do is bag these up into 500-gram bags and have them as something that you can spend JRX on.
That'd be really cool.
We have a box for every scale. We've started a 1 to 500 box, which is very low at the moment. But all
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately. But if you insist,
Amooks.
we will look at
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you very much.
Exactly, James.
Yeah, exactly. Make wreckage diorama, all sorts of stuff you could do with this stuff. And as I don't like throwing anything away, so we keep all of it, hoping that one day.
One day.
Exactly.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, exactly. Kit mashed up. I really want to do a like a freelancer, but with max engines. I have actually put that together once. But I want to kind of do like a ship jackers type of mixture of sort of putting the big engines on a freelancer, so it looks like a bit of a data runner. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah. The kit bashing. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. So one of the other failures that happens and has happened today for the first time in a while, and it's really interesting because it happened to you as well, which I didn't realize.
Sure did.
So this is
first print.
Yeah. So these are build platforms. This is what goes in the printer. This is what the actual print gets built upon on the resin, and it's an aluminium chassis, and then with 2 ends to it, and the ends are basically a rubber seal and a plastic end cap that are in both ends, right? Now, Drew, you can explain what happened since it's just happened to you. Well, I can't get some cleaning agents.
Yeah, so I got some new stuff. So it was literally brand new, broke it out of the box, and it was the first print I did with the Tough 2000. And what happens is the air inside these things expand and just pop the seal off the side. And then when you put it in the wash, you get IPA all stuck in there, and it's a mess. So yeah,
it is a mess.
But I'm going to learn something today because JR is going to walk us through fixing this, and I need to do exactly the same thing. So
you do. Now the issue you've got is that when this happens, this sort of seal opens slightly, and it lets resin in, because this is being dumped into the resin. And if you don't spot that and you end up putting it in your wash, it pretty much destroys your IPA, because it's putting maybe 50 milliliters, 100 milliliters of resin into your IPA. That's done. That is now no longer usable. So it's not just the annoyance, it also wastes 8 liters of IPA.
Well, might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Baldeck TBD, thanks for the subscription.
Thank you very much. So first thing we need to do is clean it. This has a quick rub down, but it's still a little bit sticky, so we're just going to make sure it's properly clean. We're going to take a special notice of cleaning the seal, because that will be dirty all on both sides. So what happens? It happened to us a lot. I think there's something going on with these new build platforms, because I think they've either changed the seal, or it's being manufactured somewhere else, or it's just not. They're not as good as they used to be. Not good in the olden days. And yeah, they pop. They pop so much, and especially in the Form 3. Although this went in a Form 2. But so we've come up with a method of fixing this problem going forward, so it doesn't happen again. Now, what needs to happen is, this needs to have somewhere for the air to go. When the air expands inside here, it needs somewhere for it to go. So this is a very, very dirty and simplistic way of fixing this. Drill a fucking hole in it. And that's all we're going to do. We're just going to drill a hole in the top. Now, that will just allow the expanding air to come out. Now, my initial plan was, I found this company where I could get these tiny little one-way valves. And I was going to just tap them and put those on. I've yet to have a problem with there just being a hole in it, so I haven't got around to doing it. So we're literally just going to... It's aluminium, so it's not... Bet that's really annoyingly loud.
That's not too bad. At least on my side.
There we go. One hole. So very carefully get rid of the swarf, because we don't want that getting in the printer.
JR might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some
and it's
great
crazy
friends.
too, because
thank you, Ewan
Carr. Thanks for. Yeah. But my first build platform, I mean, has lasted me over a year.
Yeah,
and dozens of prints.
Yeah. So there we go. We've just drilled a little hole. Look, there we go. That's all it needs. Just something. Now, I've come up with this really other clever trick that Drew can't do, but I'm going to do it in a second. So what you have to do is put the seal back on this, and then put it back in. Now, it's really hard to get in and get it pushed flush when you don't have a hole in it, because you're pushing it and it's just trying to pop back out. So it is much easier to get back in when you've got the hole in it, because it's not trying to force its way back out again. However, what I have discovered is, because we have a vacuum compressor, if I take the hose off it and borrow the vacuum hose and our hole, what we can do...
Aluminium?
Is suck the seal in. And there we go. So it's perfectly flush. And there we have it. It is now fixed. So that's ready to go back into the printer and be fine forevermore. So the only potential issue of it is if you have an overfilled wash, or you put a really big print in the wash on it and it displaces the IPA above the level. In theory, IPA could get inside it.
Yeah.
It's not happened in 300 prints that we've done since we've done this fix. So if a tiny bit did, it just evaporate in a few days anyway. So it's not going to leak back out.
JL might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Cube3, thanks for the subscription.
Thank you very much. So yeah, so that's that fix done. Bosh. Success. Right, so that's all you need to do.
That was easy.
It is. It generally is easy. I'd say if you don't drill the hole, it becomes a real pain to push the seal back in.
But apparently he's got some great friends.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Thank you,
Flan. Now you're taking all that. I wonder if you could do like a heat it and let it cool or something like that.
Yeah,
where it would suck it right in.
Brett did that.
If you didn't want to make a hole.
And the issue is, if you don't make the hole, you're not fixing it long term. It's just going to happen again.
It's going to happen again. Yep.
And especially once these seals have come out once and they've got a bit of resin on them or a bit of IPA, they always come out again. It's just once they've come out once, they want to do it for the rest of their life. So, drill a hole. I mean, we did talk with Formlabs about this and kind of make sure that they were happy with us doing it.
Planet there, tier 3, 2 months in a row.
Thank you very much, good sir. Right, so that's that. While I've got a spare desk,
JR might be a dickhead, but
holy
he's got
smokes,
some great friends.
Ashka. He's a crazy man.
Thank you very much for the sub.
JR might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
And 5 gift subs to Altunova G, Brumus Unleashed, Golden Triangles, Gladion, and Deltron 3030.
Thank you very much, you crazy, crazy man.
You're awesome, dude. Thank you very much.
JR might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
It still makes me laugh every single time.
It's perfect because it makes you laugh every time.
It does.
Apparently he's got some great friends.
I do have that clip too of you. We were talking about that before. Oh, JR has to pronounce all of those. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
No, my screen's so little. I've got so over this. I've got I can't really show you because it's mounted to the camera, but I've got a Raspberry Pi screen, one of the ones we used to put in the in our boxes. So it's just like a 7-inch screen with my camera, the other camera, and then 3.5 inches of chat. And that's it. That's all I've got. I've got 7 lines of chat, and that's it. But at least it's something. So it's but all the writing on it's so fucking small, but at least I can see what I'm doing. Because trying to do this stuff without cameras that you can see is fucking ball-like. So right, so these are the posters. So they're 2-sided, but we're putting 2 of each in this pack, so that you can have all 4 of them, rather than having to decide which way around. So the Invictus ones, they're artwork that we see in game on the big Invictus poster. I think they're a couple of years old, but they look really good in print. So that's really nice, and they're rolled, not folded, so they won't get too bashed on the way. And then the other thing we're giving away after this giveaway. These.
Yes.
So these are something that
JL might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Thanks for the subscription.
Thank you very much. We get these obviously when we do the artwork for the kits and dioramas and stuff. So these are the ones for the dioramas. So we obviously have a artwork and instructions on the inside on these ones, on the bigger ones, and we obviously send the artwork to the company, and they send us back these proofs. So they've got all the weird things that you have on proofs. I don't really understand them. I'm sure they're all really essential. So once we've checked them out, we go, yay, and go, yep, they look fine. And then these get rolled up and put in a tube and put in the corner of the room I've forgotten about. So we thought, why don't we just sign them and give them away to you guys? Because they'll be quite interesting. There's not going to be any more of them. So we usually get 2 copies. Now, the keen-eyed amongst you will remember that a couple of streams ago I took a pair of scissors and cut up the other one and put them in these to send to CIG as the final proof to them for the actual product. So there is only this set. There's only 1 set left. So yeah, so there's 1 of each. We'll do them as 2 lots. So one of them's got the Cutlass Red Max Pisces on. The other one's got the black Freelancer Arrow and our thank you card on. So we shall do those as 2 separate giveaways.
JL might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Nighthawk Zale, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you very much. Busy man, you. So yes, so that's cool.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist,
we have 35 minutes.
Look at the evidence.
Till launch.
Till launch. I was having a look at how long I've got on this.
Oh, John,
56 seconds. Right, we're going to sit back a minute. Because that isn't long. Stop doing that! Sorry. Chrome, damn you, Chrome. Cool. Right. So that's running in the background, so that's fine. So 34 minutes. So we're going to pick this winner, then get the next giveaway going. So that's nice. So that's cool. So the other thing that we're going to do once we've done the winner. Is make another one of these. So this is a thing we poured last time. It's come out really nicely. So this is the mold for the Carrack screens. Do I have a Carrack? Like an actual nose anywhere?
You are correct, Bart. It is all the hype.
It is all the hype. I must have one somewhere. I don't know where it is though. Because the 2 that the 2 really good ones went to JC. But yeah, so we've been making the 5 times mold. So we need to make 7 of these, so we can get 7 of them in the pot, and then we can make 35 at once. Right. Okay. So that's the first raffle
Now,
finish.
question.
Yes, question.
Have you mixed the red yet? Or do you still have just the blue?
I'm
No,
just
just
happy
the
to
blue.
blame JR immediately.
Enterprise.
We
Thanks
will
for the
look at the
follow.
evidence.
Yeah. No. So I'd say first priority is get 35 of these done. Get 7 of these done so we can do the 35 cast and get the first. Oh no, I'm too slow. So first round, we've got 2 more giveaways to do. So this first one is for 250 JREX, our kind of weird ass website currency. Right. So when we pick this winner, if you give me your email, whoever wins, gives me the email that it'll have to be your name. Because I don't think I
JR
can
might be
actually...
a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Again, thanks for the prime.
Thank you very much. I don't think I can search by email address. I think it's just by name, so that I can give you the points right now while we're doing other things. Right, so we're going to pick a winner. Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
It's Vexmo. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Nice.
Send me a whisper or a Discord or something with your actual real name. I probably know it deep down, but it's been a long ass day. Such a long ass day. So that's cool. Congratulations. So that is 250 JREX coming your way. So you'd have enough to buy one of those if you don't have that already. And we're going to get the next one started straight away. So this is for... I'm just going to get started and then I'll show you what it's for. Boom, started.
And what do we have now, Bob?
So this is for this one. This is the first one we're going to give away. So this is the Cutlass Red Max and Pisces artwork.
I am also getting into this one.
Which means no one else better enter because Drew wins everything. Drew has won more things on this show than anyone else. So true.
That just means more giveaways for you guys.
Exactly. So that's cool. Right, so that's now going on. I can bugger off back and we can do this. Right, so like I said, we've got one. We've got one done, so we need to make many of them. Now, what I did do this week, or like say this week, just before the bloody stream, I took the wheels off the pressure pot so that I can have it on the desk. So I can have it on the desk because this table is obviously quite shiny. So with this on casters, as soon as I turn around, it'll just roll off the desk and go through the floor because it's really, really heavy. So I thought, no, you know what? We'll just take the wheels off it. So the idea is that we can get 7 of these casts inside this, so we can do 35 at once. Now, what I will do is build something for them to stand on, so they'll stand all the way up at the top, so that I can actually have them in here when I pour them, and then put the lid on. Because otherwise,
that makes sense.
I'll have to take them and put them in there, you shuggle them around, and this. I know I've got longer with this new resin, but it's still not a huge amount of time, so I'd rather not have too much to do. Right, so this is our casting box. This is our master. That did the last one, so that's 5 Carrack canopies. So we need to put this box back together now, basically.
All right. As a quick aside, JR, was the 10 points only for the first one?
No.
Subscribers.
No, it's shouldn't be.
Because it's not working for this one.
Oh. Ooh, right. Okay, let's redo it. Let's redo it. Because that should not.
Thank you, Enterprise.
Thank you for letting
me know.
A
lot of time and effort. A lot of time and effort.
Indeed.
And passion.
It should have given us. It should have done it, but let me just.
Or as we like to call it, it was JR'd.
I fucked it up. Right, I've cancelled that one. Oh yeah, no, I totally didn't. Okay, let's do that again.
Exactly, Hashkaha.
Try now.
I wonder who. It was JR.
And a cheer.
I need to
Thank
fix
you.
that. I need to fix that sound. It's the only one that goes like at the beginning. I don't understand it. It was JR. Is that working?
One ticket only.
So bizarre. Why are you only giving one ticket?
I don't know. Yeah, it worked the first time.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I
Seamless,
wonder
folks.
who. It was
Nothing to see
JR.
here.
Settings, advance, subscriber bonus tickets. Save. Okay, that says 9. Start giveaway. Work, damn you.
Please stand by while we work on our technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, try now. Hey.
There it
Fantastic.
goes.
Apologies for that, people. Don't know what the hell Streamlabs was doing. I'm going to blame Streamlabs. I'd blame Dodge,
Yep.
but he's not here. Thank you for pointing these things out. It is...
Nice field repair.
It is as seamless as ever.
As ever.
Blame Dodge! Blame Dodge! Right, okay. So, now put this down over here. Pretty good at walking
Good luck,
around with
everybody.
stuff.
Yeah, no, poor Dash.
Jesus.
Not even here to defend himself.
No. It's the best time to berate him, I think. It's no
And
fun if
blame
he's
him.
here to defend himself.
Yeah.
Right, so now we've got to do this really It's a good job I haven't started on the beer, otherwise this is going to be an impossibility.
Mm-hmm. I like it. We should definitely do that, Hashkaha. He says, I think the next shirt should, the next JRDF shirt should say, blame Darge.
So tempting, isn't it? Another one that says, we will never do the Avenger.
Never doing the Avenger. In Drognir 79, send us the check and we'll make one for you.
What's he want?
A 1-to-1 Carrick.
Oh, 1-to-1 Carrick. Does it have to be able to fly in space? Because that might
Nope.
be hard. Okay.
Nope, it's just a
something
model.
to live in.
You could live in it. It'd be great.
Yeah. I was trying to work out the other day, kind of like on a serious note, what ships we could do 1-to-1 for events.
Yeah.
And interestingly, the sort of limiting factor is not price or size or materials or logistics. It's how quickly you can put it together at a venue, because
Absolutely.
you very rarely get more than 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is has to be buildable, has to go in a series of lorries and get there and be built within a couple of days. And that's always going to be a limiting factor.
Mm-hmm. Ah, that makes sense.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist...
Enterprise says the
we will look at
chatbot
the
app
evidence.
is much more reliable.
Yeah.
It's a Ghost and Coffee. It's a inside joke with Hashkaha, because that's his favorite ship.
Yes. We will promise that I'll do the Avenger.
No Avenger for you.
Yeah. It's just a white hash carrot.
Yep. He's ready to click on the screen, I'm sure.
God. Ah!
I would, oh man, I would do the same thing.
Need a stickier tape.
Classic. I would definitely just live in my ship.
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt.
100%.
What stickier tape do I have? The problem is that this is now covered in like the residue from the silicone.
Yeah. We had actually thought about that shape cap, gray cat 1-to-1.
Yeah, it's just a Renault Twizy.
Yeah, I mean, you would really just modify a golf cart.
Yeah.
So pretty easy.
I don't. Well, yeah. I don't know how kind of popular it would be. If I'm honest, like for an event, I don't know if whether it'd be worth it.
I mean, just for driving around VIPs, I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. We're better off with a Right, I'm gonna have to go and get stickier tape because this is not going to work otherwise.
I'm gonna look up this already gray cat. Oh yeah! Wow, that is very close.
We'll use labels.
That is super close.
We shall use labels because they stick to everything.
Oh man, that would be literally like a torch, some cowlings, and you're done.
What's that?
This so you put in the GEM E2 or GEM E2, and it looks like very similar to the Grey Cat PTV. Like a lot.
Quick, ring
That's
the
crazy
legal
cool.
department immediately.
Right?
I don't know if the kind of the shine of the PTV is gone now, just because it's,
right. We don't get to use it anymore for anything.
No,
and it explodes pretty easily.
It is relatively pointless, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I don't know. I guess it depends whether we'll be able to ride it around in our hangars.
Mm-hmm. In the hangars, because that was the original, and that was a ton of fun.
Yes. So. It was a ton of fun.
Nurse or rover to go shopping, yes.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Oh my god, the Ursa is so big. To be fair, even doing a like a tumbrel would just be insane.
Well, you were saying like it's 8 feet wide or something.
Oh, there's more than like the body is 8 feet wide. Then you've got the tires.
Wide, Then the tires,
like,
oh man,
God.
It's huge.
It is ridiculous. I mean, you could build it. You could build it as a static thing, but it's that whole thing. If you kind of want to have one that rolled around, you could certainly make one that you could drive onto a stage or something. Done like vehicle-y type things.
And that'd be cool.
They're quite nice because you just use the innards out of forklift trucks. The battery packs and the
okay, cool.
like hydraulic motors and stuff, so you can just like gear them really low and just
the slow movement. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, it's amazing. 2 miles an hour seems quite quick inside a building. Like
we have had some Ewan Carr. We've had some serious discussions about that. He wants to know if we can do an Ursa big enough to convert to an RC.
Yeah, so, well, I think a 1-40 Ursa you could do as an RC. I mean, the Ursa's pretty big.
I would say so.
And, easily. And at least the advantage of the Ursa over, say, the Tumbrel, because a lot of people have asked, could you do like the Cyclone as an RC? It's like, not really, because it's just a space frame. There's no... Whereas the Cyclone is a lump with real wheels that work on real axles, rather than the lunacy of
the hubless wheel thingies.
Yeah. My biggest worry would be the brittleness of 3D printed plastics. I mean, RC cars tend to be battered around a little bit. Almost be tempted to see whether you could print like all the parts in flexible. It wouldn't be anywhere near as nice surface quality and stuff, but it would bounce off shit.
So, you wouldn't have to worry about breaking it, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Might be worth it.
I agree, engineer. That'd be really cool. He says, I'd really love each city to have a need for ground vehicles within the city, transports where ships aren't allowed. I'd love to see highways in ArcCorp.
As long as they are better than CDPRs. Because, oh good God, driving around in Cyberpunk is painful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's agreed.
But then we've already got, like, the actual physics of the vehicles is already fine, so we wouldn't have that issue, in theory.
So what kind of tape are you using there?
This is a sticker.
Aha!
This is just a sticker, but they're really sticky stickers. They're basically they're the free postage stickers we get from Royal Mail, but they don't fit in our Dynamo label printer. But they still send us them anyway, so we use them for labeling things all the time. And I say they're ridiculously adhesive labels.
There you go.
And I say the issue was that this electrical tape worked fine the first time, but the issue I've got now is that there's a slight residue on this now. So just from the silicon, so it's not working as well. But hopefully,
the motorcycle, exactly.
Hopefully, it should still work to seal it up. I mean, this doesn't need to be like a genuinely perfect seal or anything. Let's put this in first. So that fits down into the bottom of it. So we've got our master in there, and we're just going to seal up the edges from the inside. Seemed to work quite well this time.
17 minutes till lunch.
Now, of course, our competition has 19 minutes. Damn it!
So close.
So close. That's fine. We'll put the stuff on sale because I need to actively put it on sale. So if you can keep an eye on that timer, because I need to then do things. So they won't all go on sale simultaneously. I've got 7 tabs open. In theory, all I have to do is click save because they're all set up to go active. But I physically have to do it. So there is no real F5 war today anyway, because these aren't kit models.
Hungry, yeah.
So they're not personalized or anything. Oh, that's another point. Don't add a personalized box thing to it, because there is no personalization on dioramas, because there's no box. Should have made that clear. But
Ewan Carr says 1 to 100, area 18 when?
Good God, that'd be huge. We were talking about Engineer's space whale statue today.
Yeah.
And like trying to work out how big it would be in certain scales. And we think it's about the size of a freelancer. Like massive. So in like 1 to 200, it's still a pretty decent size.
That's awesome. That's a really cool model too.
It is a really cool model. It's awesome. You've done it in tough, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
I look forward.
It looks amazing.
I look forward to seeing it.
I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah, Tough 2000 is a surprisingly good material. Its surface quality is not as good as model and stuff, but it's not. It's not like.
It's not that bad at all. Yeah,
it's not. It's nowhere near as bad as even the draft resins, which, given its like physical property, is just like monumentally cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool. So yeah, thanks, Anji. Appreciate it.
Well, we'd say
and great work.
Absolutely. So you've tested it as we are genuinely thinking about it as a sort of either a product or a reward or something. It'll
Very
be
cool.
dependent on CIG's opinion of it as a concept rather than a model. I have no issue with the model, but it's just like, do we? Yeah. Is this sliding outside your designated lane, JRDF?
Yeah, right.
We seem to do that quite a bit anyway, and they're sort of slowly letting us get away with it. Right, so we've made a box again. Let's tidy our arse.
Shadecap says, can you just scribble on one in Sharpie if I order the personalized box?
I mean, yeah, just put it in the notes. Please sign the. Please just scribble on it. You don't need to spend money on that. That's fine.
Yeah, and that's a good point. These are not limited.
No.
So yeah, we got tons of them on the shelves, and we're ready to go out the door right now.
We have. They are all on the shelf. And so I didn't. Do you know what I did yesterday? I put in a box to ship out to an individual person, number 299 of the arrows.
Wow.
So the
That's
next arrow that
crazy.
gets bought is number 300. Oh, we
Wow.
might, no, we might have even. I think we might have sold one today, so that would be number 300.
There you go, number
So
300.
it is. They are going to be gone by the end of the year at this rate.
They're going fast for sure. Wow.
It's got right time check.
Time check is 13 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah, we'll get this done. Fine. Right. Okay. So we need that. We need those. We need.
I'm just happy to blame JR
Brumus Unleashed says, ever consider producing a Pico miniature?
And
thank you for the follow, Dirkham.
We have, I say, Unji's done a cool Pico 3D print. He's done the Narwhal 3D print as well. So we have already got some cool files that we could get off Unji to do it with. I don't know what scale we do it in. One of the things I would like to potentially look at is yet another scale of models. I'm really quite taken by the 1:4 scale. Weta Workshop do firearms in 1:4. 1:4 scale is miniature enough that we can do them without having issues with like firearms licenses and things. So things like helmets and guns and those sort of props would be really cool in 1:4. And we might even be doing a gun for a trophy in the not too distant future. So that would be quite fun. But yeah, so I think if we did that sort of scale, that would be quite cool to do a Pico in that 1:4.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm a bit OCD when it comes to the scales. I like to have everything in a scale that we work in, just for no particular reason other than it makes me happy.
Well, I did notice that when I noticed your reaction when I did my original Freelancer Max in FDM. And you're like, what scale is that? And I said, I don't know. As big as I could print in my printer?
Dare you! Should know what scale it is. Although even worse is when you go, I'll just make me work it out. Oh, it's 1:670. Like, stop it!
Yeah, no, exactly. We did figure that out. It was pretty bad. Oh, man.
Not the
and this is the silicone...
yeah,
so two-part mix silicone.
Yeah, so this is Moldstar 15 silicone rubber by Smooth On. I think most of the stuff I use is Smooth On. I must admit, it's an American company, so it is more expensive to buy it over here. But it's such good stuff. Never had any issues with it. I am getting quite low on the Moldstar. It'll do the rest of these, no issue. We did end up actually pouring too much last time. So let's try and only do 250. So that's a bit of an annoying one to hit, but I'll be fine. We'll manage.
Yeah, how many Grey Cats are left?
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
All right. Altunovg. Thanks for the follow.
I think there's 19, I think.
19 Grey Cats left. Grey Cat PTVs. Because I did show up to the Grey Cat social, and I was like, that doesn't look like a Grey Cat. Like, yeah, it is. It's the Rock. It's made by Grey Cat too. Blue drink. Exactly.
Yes, 19. 19 left.
Exactly, Flan. Exactly. just give him an odd scale. He just
fuck you.
and send things in barleycorns in measurements.
No, I watched this really interesting video, like, you know, why you Americans can't cope with proper numbers. And it turns out you actually do. Most of the stuff in the US is actually in metric. It's just the general people that refuse to use it.
I don't understand it. Everything in science is done in metric, and obviously with 3D printing and 3D modeling, that's all done in metric.
Well, yeah, because it's easy to
do it in inches. Yeah, it's super easy.
What's the micron equivalent in inches? Grains or seeds.
You guys rename or something? It says Heavy Bob. Yeah, Heavy Bob. No, the person who has JRDF is like got is never streamed, but They own the rights to it, so we have to be JR Desfab.
Well, the other reason we're JR Desfab is that we really wanted to have the same moniker on everything, and that was the only one we could work out that we could have on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, everything. So we're JR Desfab everywhere, which is basically why we went with that. Because there's nothing more annoying than going, well, we're this on this, and then this on this. And I have enough trouble with Robert Space Industries, because whenever you're having to at them in different social media,
right?
Facebook's different to Twitter, but I think it's the same. No, Twitter and Instagram are the same, I think. But yeah, it is annoying. So this is a two-parter. So it takes a little bit of mixing because it is quite thick. You have to make sure you get round the outside. It's not a particularly fast thing, this. This is going to take about 8 hours to cure. So it's workable for half an hour, which we don't need. We will have to degas it though.
Okay, I was going to ask that. You have to degas it then.
Yeah, the thicker the stuff, the definitely you need to degas it. This is going. So
gotcha.
It'd be good to actually. Don't know if we can actually get the camera. I suppose I could borrow that camera. Borrow my face camera and do it with that. So let's try. So get me degas chamber.
So Heavy Bob says, yeah, thought you guys like dropped off the face of the earth. Been seeing lots of models, but thought CIG dropped you guys.
No.
The latest tin set got me a bit worried that they had replaced you guys.
How dare you? Right. So I'm just going to borrow my face camera here. So this is.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
And there is our pot. So no, hey Bob, we are still here. Don't you worry. Still here. Right. So we've put the lid on it now.
And you can check out our official Robert Space Industries.com/JRDF website.
Yeah, we just clean the top of this, and then we'll actually be able to see it bubbling, which would be quite a novel.
Yeah.
Excuse my terrible camera work here. Need more cameras, people. Need more cameras. Right. Okay. So we've got, that's the pressure gauge, negative pressure gauge. So this is filled with water or oil. I'm not quite sure which. Because if it isn't, you can't register a negative pressure. I'm going to turn it on. So that says, whoop. So I shall look in here. You shall see the bubbling.
Little bubble.
So this is it dragging out all the bubbles.
And so so you can get a nice smooth mold then. Right?
Yeah. The other issue is if you have any bubbles in it, it's when you compress it to 60 psi, it will like crush it inward.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, cows.
Oh, I don't think it's going to overflow. I think we're good. When I did it last time, it literally got right over the crest of it. I had a little bit more in it. So this is all the bubbles collapsing.
Yeah. It looks like we had waffles this morning, so it looks like the waffle batter.
Blue waffles.
Blue waffles. Don't want that.
No, if I wedge that there, I can put this away while it's bubbling away. I could do maths, I suppose, and work out when you're at -1 bar how much expansion that actually puts on the air. So like a tiny, tiny bubble, what does that become?
Right. Now, do you have a certain amount of time that you do that for, or is it just like a?
I mean, with something as slow as this, you just kind of do it until you're happy there isn't really any more air coming out.
Okay.
If it's something you've got not a lot of time to deal with, some of the resins are very, very fast. You just have to have pre-decided just how much time you can afford to it, and just go with that. And ways you can speed it up is by, say, what we did. The reason we filled this with bottles of water is so that you can
JR
vacuum
might
as
be a
fast.
dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Thanks for the subscription, Cals.
Okay.
No, even Car gifted the tier 1 sub to Cals.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Mode. I was going to say, that was bizarre. So, Heavy Bob, we're making another one of these. So this is a mold for the Carrack canopies, because the bridge on the Carrack, I don't have one, because I gave them both to JC. I'm sure I had a third one, I don't know which it is. So what we've done is we've cast a 3D print of the bridge inside a tinted
JR might be a dickhead, but apparently he's got some great friends.
Hey, thanks for that Prime.
So
the Stormtrooper.
Thank you, Jimmy boy.
3-minute warning.
3-minute warning. Oh, okay. So this is a mold to create 5 of them. We're going to make 7 of these molds, and then that will mean that we can make 25 of these. Right. So I'm going to now release the air out of this. So you'll see the bubbles disappear to nothing as it goes back to atmospheric pressure. And then I shall put the camera back.
When you continue the sub, you should be able to, Cals.
Right. And then we're just going to pour this in. And the trick when you're pouring a silicon, or a resin for that matter, is just start in one corner and don't move. Just let it flow around stuff. And that way you get a lot less bubbles. So obviously every time you do anything like pouring or anything, you're potentially introducing more air back into it after we've done. I mean, it's mainly mixing them together that sort of introduces loads of air.
Mm-hmm. We did consider making some ice cube Carrack trays.
Well, we were sorting out all of the casting stuff, and I found the Drake Interplanetary Easter egg molds or masters that we made that we never actually made molds of.
Oh yeah.
Because I need to get some actual food safe silicon to make molds.
Gotcha.
And then we could actually do some chocolate eggs, which would be really cool. Right, so that's that in there. We now have that in there, so we can put that into the pressure pot. Get our pressure pot lid. Stick that on. Tighten it down.
1 minute.
Yeah. Nothing like a bit of pressure. It's fine. Okay, got these big screws down, and then we're going to hit this with 60 psi. There we go. Taps open.
I'm just happy
That's
to blame
6
JR
PSI.
immediately, but if you insist...
Dia XD, thanks for the follow.
Right, we're back over here now. Right, so I need to now go onto my... Oh, where are they? Here we are. Right, okay. 20 seconds to go. Don't know what you're talking about.
Your NDA screen or no?
No, it's fine. It's just
okay, cool.
People can look at the teeny tiny back end. Right, so I'm literally going to go across this and start pressing save, and save will actually make the products available.
3, 2, 1. Click it.
That's 1, 2. Oh, be quicker. 3, 4.
Lie, my pretties.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7. So that they should all now be live.
Double check.
Dioramas. Scale 1 to 500. Oh, and the timer's broke. Yes, they are now all purchasable. Yay! It worked!
It did work! It worked!
Excellent! And not a second to spare. Beer time.
Not a second. Look at that. All right. Woo!
Beer o'clock.
Considered it launched.
We're going with a Hop House 13 and a 3D printed bottle opener. That is what we're doing.
There it is.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I would smash the bottle on a model, but
We have been exploring some interesting resins, Heavy Bob, so that could be a possibility. I have some it's called elastic resin, and it's very flexible and very rubbery.
I mean, we do use a rubber resin for the tires, like Grey Cat tires and Cyclone tires are actually made with 3D printed rubber, so that they do actually work like tires. Does the Carrack set come with a 1 to 500 Pisces? Yes, it does. So the diorama, for like the diorama pack, when you buy the one that we've just launched now, you get 3 in-flight Pisces.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately. But if you insist,
Super Snake 999996. Thanks for the follow.
Pisces, whatever these things are, in plural. Pisci. So you get 3 in flight and 1 landed. With the Carrack, you get 1 in flight, 1 landed. So you do get more in the diorama, but yes, you do get an in flight and a landed with the Carrack as well as an Ursa Rover. So.
Yep, very cool.
So that's really cool. So yes, you do get those included. They're on a different print. They're actually, I could probably find the print. You know, it's probably something I could do.
I would love those, Engineer. I would definitely use that with bourbon. He was saying they make reusable stainless steel ice cubes. So he wants whiskey in a glass with a stainless Pisces.
Nice. So, Heavy Bob, if you're still here, this is the. I'm gonna have to get a piece of foam. My camera doesn't like going too close. So this is the. This is the canopy for the Carrack. So you can see that it's got the bridge cast inside it with the middle deck and the pilot seats and everything. So that's what we're making the silicon molds to make, because they require silicon molding. Yes, I was getting the Pisci print, wasn't it? Got boxes and boxes and boxes of Carrack prints. We have started production. I've actually got 2 components entirely printed for our first run of 100. So that's exciting.
All right. Congrats, Ash Cube. And thank you.
It's going to be in the last fucking box, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Mini Flames. It is very cool.
I'm really proud of that. I think that's definitely something that we're going to push forward to do on other models. The whole canopies cast inside things, because it does open up some ships that we were deliberately avoiding, with Origin written on the outside of it.
some particular brand of ship for some reason.
It certainly makes the 600 a good 1 to 500 model for us to do, because we can use that same technique several times on the 600i. So this is the print we get in the Carrack. So there's the 2 Pisci, 1 in flight, 1 landed. Little Ursa Rover in the middle there, and they're the turrets.
Look at that little Ursa. He's so cute. I love it.
And then those turrets, interestingly, so there's the manned turret and the unmanned turret, and we've got one with the guns pointing forward and the ones with the guns pointing up in the air, so you can kind of a bit more sort of like excitement to it. Rinlin123, thank you very much. We shall keep this up.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Nice. Got to have all the maxes, and the max in all the sizes.
Do you have the roadmap available?
I should do.
Gosh.
I'm going to just do this so that you can't see my screen, because I don't have the NDA one anymore. And I'm going to have to go into our NDA server to find it.
Yeah, so we don't do any ships that are not in game now. So we can't do anything that would be like the 400 or anything like that. And the same with the Kraken, not in the game. So
look, JR, you should have set the car on fire.
Remembers the Carrack and the shenanigans that happened with the engines on it, then it would have been a totally different story. So it's really good to make sure that it's done right.
Absolutely. Red Monster SC, thank you so much for the raid there, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome. How was your stream? We have put the dioramas on sale, you'll be pleased to know. Chatting to you about the Cutlass today, haven't we? Can I find it? I'm sure it's here somewhere. Oh, we must have a little bit of a look through the Discord in a moment as well. There's some good things in our Discord to highlight.
100%, yeah.
If I was me, where would I save this?
I don't think he's pulled the raffle yet.
I haven't pulled the raffle yet. That's a good point.
Indeed.
Why did they get the time?
I know. Just letting you know.
Yes, thank you. Oh, where did I put it?
Exactly. I won again.
Yeah, we just assumed that Drew won. For the best.
Awesome. That's great, Red Monster.
I cannot find it. Let's pull the draw and I'll see if I can find it.
All right.
So
what he's looking for is the roadmap for what ships are going to be.
We have it's in the Discord somewhere. You could actually look for it. Look for it and find it. It's in our NDA Discord somewhere. So right, okay. So let's pull a winner. So this is for, just to remind people, because I'm all about reminding people. This was for this lovely thing here, our second giveaway today, which is the artwork proof print for the dioramas for the Cutlass Red, Freelancer Dur, Freelancer Max, and Pisces, signed by me and Cals. My plan is with the Carrack is to go even further with this and actually send it around everyone who was involved, Hasgahar and Daj and all those sort of people, to get as many signatures on it as we can. Might even throw some CIG ones on as well. Right, so we're going to pick a winner for that. Drum roll, please. Not Westbrook, Drew.
We don't have one. We don't have a
Pull 3 keys. Congratulations. Congratulations. Fantastic. They are on the way to you.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
So that's cool. So we also have another one. Let's see that I haven't broken it this time, shall we? See, I have broken it. What is going on? Perhaps we've got to click the up arrows. I can't just type 9. But I just want to type 9. Okay, that seems to be fine. Right, so the second one we've got is obviously the other ones. So it is the Cutlass Black, Freelancer, Arrow, and our thank you cardy thing was on that half of the print. So that is the third giveaway we're doing this evening, which we shall get going. I'm going to hit go. If someone who is subscribing can take the ticket so we can see whether it's broken. That would be great.
Yep, it's working good.
Excellent. So clearly I can't type 9, I actually have to press the up arrow 9 times. Derpy motherfucker. Of course. I laugh at your keyboard of typing mess. Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez.
Oh dear.
Yes, indeed.
So congratulations, Pull 3 keys. If you can... Oh, I didn't... Who won the first one? Because I haven't actually sent them their 250 points.
Gosh.
It's gone by so
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
BMXEO is correct.
Excellent, thank you, James.
Thank you, Trevor.
I'm going to have to... That's not going to be his name in this back end. So that's fine. That's fine.
So all these that you see on the screen are on sale now then?
Yes, all of these, they're all live and all on the shelf as well, so they will be winging way to you tomorrow.
Very cool.
Indeed. Right, let's do that. Cool. Just everything's broken. Right, okay. Trying to do too many things live is the serious issue here. Right, okay. We've stormed through things there. That was a bit chaotic, but we've cast something. We've fixed a build platform. We've launched 7 products. What else can we get done?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
That's only an hour 10. That's got to be a record for us.
I think so.
It's got to be a genuine record. Hi, how is everybody?
Right? No.
Oh, Discord. Yes.
Let's
Let's have a meander through our Discord now, because there's definitely some. See, Discord does the same thing. That's so annoying. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So
I'm still trying to track down the list.
Yes. So right, assembly and painting. So in our Discord. Discord, thank you, Heavy Bob. Any plans to, instead of the coupon, get J-Rex an unboxing video? Oh, that's interesting. I guess we could determine that. We'd have to manually give them to you anyways, but yes, there's no reason why an unboxing video could earn you J-Rex. No, don't see why not. We'll have to work out how many you deserve. Quite a lot, I would imagine. But yeah, no, that's the easy thing to do.
Where do you want me to link it to you, JR?
Just link it to me in our personal chat.
Okay.
So this is our assembly and painting channel in our public Discord. So a couple of notable mentions. This is insane. This is crazy. So Dual Edge has, using a Dremel, removed the inner spines of the Arrow's engine so he can light it. It's like, that's insanity. Very well done.
Indeed.
A massive shout out to Nugatine for this epic chrome job on the Freelancer to make it, obviously, cool. For those who haven't noticed on the Freelancer is very chrome. In space, you don't really see it, but as soon as you get it in atmosphere, the current paint job is insanely chrome, and this is brilliant. This is an absolutely amazing chrome job on the Freelancer. Absolutely brilliantly done. Dual Edge as well has been polishing his Arrow canopy, which I don't think was easy to do. Now, excellently, people are not going to need to do that anymore because we actually have the our new coating, and we now print them in the Form 3 printer. So I've got 100, I think, now. I did do a load of spraying yesterday on them. So once all the dust has settled from the diorama launch and stuff, we will be making them available to anyone who has an Arrow for free using the spare parts policy. So if you once we tell you, if you order a screen as a spare part from the Arrow spare part thing, you will get the new updated screen. So that's cool. But yeah, just Arrow's coming together.
Yeah, the quick tip we discovered was the clear nail polish. Really cleared those up like significantly. So
because that's the thing, it's not, the print lines aren't internal. They're just on the external. I mean, things are clear when you get the surface clear. That's all this coating's doing as well, but it works so well. So yeah, so that's Arrow looking gorgeous. I think that's all the new things. Yes. I think we covered this last week. We'll cover it again.
Oh wow!
Awesome. I love this little diorama on the box. And when you look inside the box, there's all the cards and the little things. Isn't that so cool?
That's great.
Love it.
That is amazing. Are there plans for using J-Rex ordered beside the dioramas artwork prints?
So we have 4 sets of artwork prints that are currently with CRG for approval. So we've got Haskahar, 4 of Haskahar's images that he's won screenshot contests with, all printed up. There is a set of classics posters, sort of very early Star Citizen artwork ones, which is quite cool, and some food vendory ones, and also Los Imperators, and who's the other band?
Gutter Wash?
Yes, Gutter Wash. So they're posters. So that's all. There's like 4 or 5 sets of artwork prints that are coming. Other things we've had ideas for, as I say, we'd like to be able to do these sort of 500-gram bags of misprints to do diorama work with. We are potentially looking at some exclusive models. So it mainly be just individual characters, like the sort of the Daymar Rally guy holding the trophy and things like that. Ones that we don't really want to put on general sale, but we could actually put them as sort of a little exclusives. I know Firemaster wants my replicator blocks, my SG-1 replicator blocks to be available. I need to think about that because Amazon now own the IP. So
oh man,
I don't want to be giving those away without talking to them first. But I might well do that because they're really cool because they're all magnetized, so they all flip together like they should do, which is really nice.
Super cool.
So that's cool. We will not just quite find things that are lying around, but we'll probably give those away, things we find lying around that you guys might want. But yeah, we'll try and pack as many stuff into it as we can, just so there's lots of things that you guys can win and sort yourselves out with, which should be cool. Right, so you found the thing.
I did.
Look at the thing. This will take an age to load. Oh, there we go. Wasn't too bad. Oh, that's really low res.
Yeah, I think Engineer says I tried clear nail polish, but it was garbage at applying it, and I left the surface lumpy.
It's a little low res, but it's fine. So this is our kind of roadmap for the rest of this year. So the ones that are... Oh, I have to update this and make some green. Because I've actually got some actually launched now, so I have to update this. So the ones that are... These little ones that are yellow are the ones we've just launched. The ones that have a little purple band around are the ones that are coming next quarter. So that is the Gladius, the Buccaneer, the Mantis, the Sabre, and the Vanguard, as well as the MSR and the Hercules. So the Hercules will be a kit model. The MSR will be a large diorama. So these are all dioramas. These are all models. And this is quite interesting.
About the size of one carrot ass.
Yes, it is. The MSR is about 1 carrot ass big.
Yes.
So this is quite an interesting graphic for any of you guys who haven't seen it before. These are all the ships we have available. These are all the ones that are in-game and not Vandal, which is kind of our prerequisite for doing these. So after we've done the Hercules, there is only the Hammerhead, the Starfarer, and the 600i in this sort of kit model size. These 3 on this side are too big at the moment. We still need to get some sort of... it's the clicky graphic. These 3 on the right-hand side require us to be able to cast larger sections of them because they don't fit in the printers. They're obviously high on our list to get that technology, sorted, but it's not something we can currently do. So we're really, next year, we're really looking Hammerhead, Starfarer, and 600i, plus anything else that appears in that range. Merchantman at some point probably sits in there somewhere. Hull C sits in there. Trying to think what else sits in that kind of range. I mean Polaris, but that's not on the roadmap. Neither's the other RSI one. Perseus.
Oh yeah, the Perseus.
Yeah, but they aren't on the roadmap, so we ignore those for now. So really, next year we'll look at this. Now the Caterpillar's up here. That's actually going to be a diorama, a large one. The Bengal, the Bengal wouldn't fit on this chart. We will in all seriousness do the Javelin. But again, that is way beyond what we can do at the moment, just because we have to be able to cast large sections, which means having really large pressure pots and all that kind of stuff. We were looking at, we're throwing about in the server, the Forge World model. I remember what it's called now, the big Tau dropship. That's like $1,700, and this guy was unboxing it, and it was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
But that's about the same size as a Javelin. It's as wide as a Javelin is long, and it's more of a wide ship. So the Javelin is going to be a monster of a model. Well, I mean, the Idris is 20 inches. So it's not a slight model. Obviously, there's a Kraken to fit in there as well, which is about the same, which is a little bit longer than the Idris, but it's not as big a model as the Idris, because the Idris is so much wider. But yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
Agreed. We provide magnets, so it's all good.
Exactly. And free parts replacement.
Why Cat not 1 to 500? Oh, it is. So the Caterpillar's up here in 1 to 500, but it's a diorama rather than a kit model. So that's kind of our sort of. So these ones that we've been doing today, these are dioramas. They come in the clamshells, and they don't have magnets, all that kind of stuff. And then once you get up to the sort of the kit size ones, like the Carrack, that comes in the full box, all the artwork and the magnets and all that kind of stuff. So our kind of separating line is between the Caterpillar and the 600. So the Caterpillar is a large diorama, and the 600 is a kit model. Now, they are around the same sort of volume, but there is logic in the madness of why the Caterpillar is still a diorama. It is smaller than the 600i, and the 600i has a lot of glass portions and stuff that really make it a kit. So the Caterpillar will be the largest 1 to 500 diorama we will do. But yes, it's still definitely there, which will be awesome. And then we're going to fire through as many of these as we can. Cat has the elevators. True. I mean, this is the thing. So the Caterpillar and stuff, a lot of its cool features, like its weird ass landing gear legs, and actually having the cargo pods openable and all that kind of stuff, they're only going to be doable when we do a 1 to 200 version of the Caterpillar, which is a big model. When you sort of look at this, we've done the Max in a 1 to 200, and it's a pretty big model. Look at the size of the Caterpillar compared to the Max, but that would have fully opening stuff, so you could see inside them and all that kind of stuff. So we will save all of that kind of stuff for that, and that is also one of the reasons why the Caterpillar is definitely a diorama, because our kit models in general have interchangeable landing gears on magnets. They have interchangeable weaponry and turrets where possible. They have interiors of cargo spaces where possible, etc., etc. The Caterpillar is just too small to do all that with in 1 to 500. So it's one of those things that realistically we are trying to draw a line and be sort of consistent. So that. So I mean, but the Caterpillar certainly could be one that we can put in for next year. We need to kind of prioritize based on desire of people, like always in Star Citizen. It's so hard to kind of narrow that down. So I don't know whether it's a case of we allow our customers to vote on the next one. Everyone gets a vote or something. Hashkar, it's fine. Hashkar, it's fine. We know it's the Avenger. Shill. He's already hitting the keyboard, emailing, talking to his local politicians. I do really want to do the Avenger. I do really want to do the Avenger in 1 to 100. I think it'd be a really good selection of models, because obviously we do each of them. So that'd be good. I have promised Firemaster I will also add the Cutlass Blue to the raft as soon as we can. Angie, you're right. I mean, when we can kind of do that. I can see an SC tabletop game. So can I.
Interesting.
So can I. There was one in development at one point.
There was.
I should totally do that again. Disco pointed this out today as well on Twitter.
Indeed. Exactly.
So I think this 1 to 500 range would be great for a tabletop game. Dead serious, great for a tabletop game. And also, it's definitely one to build your fleet with. Do you know what I mean? It is definitively a build your fleet type thing. They're nice little desk models. These aren't too massive, but I mean, I'll just grab a bit of a Carrack. an old print of a Carrack, just to kind of give a size comparison between the Carrack and, and like a Lancer, for example. I mean, the Carrack is a much bigger model, just over 10 inches. So it gives you an idea of just how big a beast the Carrack is, and that's kind of the fun of this sort of scale, is that you actually get to see the difference between the Carrack and these smaller ships, which is quite nice. Because so many people ask, oh, why don't you do all the ships in the same scale? It's like, because they'd be as big as your house, some of them. if we're like,
exactly.
Just be huge. It's just like I think we've done fairly well to get it down to 4 scales. And we're trying to be consistent with them in that all the ground vehicles are in 1 to 40, all the fighters will be in 1 to 100. Everything else is in 1 to 200 that isn't a sub-capital or capital ship, and then the 1 to 500 is for the sub-capital and capitals, but now it's actually for everything, because we're also doing all of the other ships as dioramas. So the plan is to try and do every single ship in 1 to 500, and there'll be some ships that we will only ever do in 1 to 500, if we're perfectly honest, because I just don't think they'll be popular enough to do a full kit of them. Not at the rate that they make new ships anyway. If this was they weren't going to make any more new ships, then we go, right, okay, well, we'll do all of them eventually. But they make ships so fast that we can't keep up with them. So there is going to be ones that we never do as bigger models. Merchantman will be 1 to 500, yes, definitely. Because the Merchantman's an unknown size, let's be honest, but it's probably going to be about Carrack size or bigger, Reclaimer size. Yeah, so somewhere in that neck of the woods, though, isn't it? So yes, it will be 1 to 500. I think the biggest.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, the Merchantman's going to be amazing. 1 to 404 scale there. We are going to do, we're genuinely going to do the Origin 404 as an April Fool thing. We are genuinely going to do it.
100%.
And yeah, we're going to make 10 of them, I think. We worked out we're going to do fully boxed artwork, everything, and get CR to sign it and stuff, and we'll auction them for charity or something. Try and do that for next year. Yeah, it's about Polaris size. So yeah, okay. So yeah, it's roughly. I mean, obviously we don't know. Send me an invoice for the details. It's a very, very rare material. It's just going to be really see-through.
Unobtainium.
Do you hold back a few ship projects with the consideration that they may change? Yes. I mean, we're obviously in contact with Ben and JC over, when we're doing a model, we talk to them. They kind of know which ones are going to get a big hit. Most of the ones that go through the gold standard pass, things like the Gladius and stuff, it's mainly panel lines on the outside, and actually not many of them change. They just do stuff in game, so that doesn't affect us hugely. If we know it's going to have a huge rework, we obviously don't touch it. But most of the big reworks, I think the 600's getting a big pass, is all internal stuff mainly. I don't think they're going to affect much on the outside, but again, we always double check. There are a few that we've held back on because we know there's going to be changes, and obviously we steer away from concept. So realistically now, the ships that are coming into game now shouldn't get a rework on their physical geometry. They will get reworks internally and component-wise and all that kind of stuff, but nothing that really affects us. We could wait forever and wait till the game is finished and then do models of them, but that's the only way to guarantee there'll be no changes, and even that wouldn't guarantee that there'll be no changes. Right. Let's be honest. So we kind of have to just do it at some point and make them.
Well, it's the Carrack is a good example of that, right? Because they got the shields that come up the front, and a couple of the concepts that is coming down the pipe, but it's not in the model now. So
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the evidence.
Fenya, thanks for the follow.
Thank you very much. And things like, certainly, like the Carrack, we've obviously there's some bits like the antenna masts we put on the model, so that they are deployable on the model. We've kept the canopy. keep putting it down. We've kept the canopy on magnets, so it will come in and out. So when they do the armored canopy, we can actually do that as a we can do that as an extra bit when they eventually do it. Same with if they do different cargo pods. We've got the cargo pods as separate magnetic pieces on the Carrack. So if they do new different types of cargo pods, we could do them as a diorama later on. So and it's some things like we've got the options. Like if all they do is do the Carrack nose, like the canopy with the shields on, we'd probably do, hand on heart, we'd probably do that as a free spare part thing, and just have it, because I mean it's such a small print, it's not really worth the packaging and the licenses to get it through. So we would just do it as a, if you own a Carrack, you can get one for free by using the spare parts policy, if that's all they end up doing. If they do more editions and stuff, then we could do like an upgrade diorama pack or something. And that might be the case on some of the big ships like the Endeavour. Really looking forward to the Endeavour, because that'll obviously have more modules, and it's probably going to have more modules later on and stuff to add to it. So they'll probably be as extras later on. But yeah, so that'll be nice. Yeah, I think that there's an awful lot to come. I think we are ramping up the speed of the rate that we're putting the models out at the moment. That may slow down again when events come back, if we end up going back to doing events as well. I mean, we've obviously not done any events during COVID. We've moved the business all the way over to these models, very much dedicated. So it's not easy necessarily to go back to doing events again, but we would like to. But if we do go back to doing events, the models may slow down, although we are faster at doing the models than we used to be, so it might even itself out. We'll see, won't we?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, the USB. Well, I mean, we're supposed to be having a USB.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately.
Exactly.
If you insist.
$7.75. Thanks for the follow.
I mean, and let's be honest, it's the Caterpillar. The Caterpillar is a USB stick.
Pretty much.
It's perfect for a USB stick.
Exactly.
Hello, Seb Fox. How are you? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, no, I think the Caterpillar makes the most sense as a USB stick. Absolutely fine. Mind you, USB sticks are so small now, and you can put it in anything. But those tins are going to be an exciting project for somebody. I'm not sure whether I want to be the person that does those.
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the collective tins. Yeah.
Citizen Dell, thanks for the follow. But yeah, no, that's going to be interesting. There's a lot in those tins. And it's a weird shaped tin, because there's rolling posters and also like
all sorts of interesting things.
Fourth dimension tin.
Sounds about right. Yes.
Somebody was smoking something when they kept adding things to that list.
It'll fit there. It'll definitely fit in there.
Fine.
Yes, definitely. Don't worry about that.
It'll be fine. But yeah, so
it's too funny.
Oh, it is too funny. It's not for whoever has to deal with it.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is very true.
Dear. But yeah, so
yeah,
I mean,
I kept on to my original quote pledge just for those they were giving away a lot in the beginning.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, they were promising a lot, shall we say? They weren't giving
promising a lot.
They weren't giving it to you.
Promising a lot.
I did go into 3.14 for the first time last night, though. I'm not been into the PTU or anything. I tend to wait for stuff to be live because I have so little time to play it anyway. And it was really funny actually, because I was having a chat with Hayashi and stuff in the server about PCs and stuff, and graphics cards and CPUs, and I loaded up in Horizon, and my CPU sat at 41%. And about 40 degrees. My GPU was at 100% all the time. And sitting about 45, 50 is water cooled, so it's fine. And I was getting a glorious 9 FPS. It was admittedly in 4K, but it's just like 9 with the GPU completely balls to the wall. And it's just like, okay, new GPU required. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Do you know what I mean? If it's something that my hardware is limiting it by, I should just drop it down to 1080 and see what it looks like. But I've got a 42-inch screen, so it's like I don't really want to do 42-inch screen in 1080.
1080,
absolutely awful.
The pixels like this big.
Yeah, exactly. I could just play it not on my CAD monitor, I suppose. But yeah, it's that whole thing. If it's my graphics card that's limiting my FPS, I don't mind that as much. I just need to get a new graphics card. Fine, because mine's ancient now. But yeah, it's when you've got like the best hardware, and you know it's still crap.
Still chugging away. Yeah.
And
exactly.
I'm running a 1080 Ti with a NZXT Kraken conversion kit, so you can put AIO on it.
Looking for one, yeah, nice.
Which will work really well. I don't know if it will work. I don't think it works on the newer series because there's too much other stuff to cool. But on the 10 series, you could just pretty much cool its main chips, and that works really well. Never overheats. Pretty nicely overclocked, nothing too drastic, but it sits sort of just revving itself away. But I did it because I don't remember what I got, but I had the version of it that had a blower on it, and it was the noisiest card ever. That single really high RPM blower on it. God, it was awful. And then it's now got a 280mm rad on it, and just doesn't make a sound even at 100%. It doesn't make a sound, but it's just at the limit of what it can do. So it's just that's fine.
Sounds about right.
I'm waiting for the 30 series cards to become a little bit more available, and I'd really like to go full water cooled. I'd love to do a full water loop. I'd love to have a go at it.
That would be cool.
I want to make my own back plate, like big distribution plate that the motherboard sits on, like the thermal tape, big ones, because I've got some 20mm clear acrylic left over from another job, and it's enough to make a really massive distro plate on the CNC. So I really want to have a go at making one. But I want to try it on this PC and this graphics card. Just before I get like...
That's a good plan.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of waiting on for one of the EVGX Hydro Copper cards because I don't really fancy buying a really high-end card and then converting it to water cooling. I'd rather buy one that is water cooled, if I'm perfectly honest, because, the thought of ripping apart a £1,500 card to... Yeah, that's no good. So if I'm buying if I'm doing water cooling, I'm going to buy it already water cooled. But yeah, and I have this theory about using a central heating intercooler out of a central heating
you were telling
boiler,
me about this.
because I have sitting over there a cooler that runs the laser, and it's exactly the same one as I've got on my CNC machine, and it's 1.5 kilowatts of cooling. But you can control it to 1/10 of a degree. So
that's awesome.
The idea would be the pump's way too strong in it to be able to push around a computer. It would blow the gaskets, I think. But the idea would be to run it through an intercooler and set it to a sensible temperature, sort of 18 degrees, so way above sort of like condensation point, but well below room temperature. Run that through an intercooler and then have the PC's water loop running through the intercooler on the other side. So it should, in theory, be an infinite amount of cooling for the PC.
Very cool.
So that would be awesome. It shouldn't be a difficult setup, to be honest. As I said, the cooler's already here, so I could run it in a loop with the laser as well. Because this is way over spec for the laser anyway. It's one of those things that the cooler I have for my CNC is spec to the CNC, and it was only about 550 quid, I think. And it's got an actual refrigeration cycle in it, so you can actually bring the temperature down. And the size below it doesn't. It's just a massive air-blown radiator, so you can never get it below room temperature because it doesn't have refrigerant in it. It's not got a heat pump, so it's not forcing it colder. This one goes down to 5 degrees if you really want it to. It's just like, that seems excessive. But it's really good for the laser because it keeps the laser at a nice sort of 18 degrees, so you get a really consistent cut with the laser.
Oh, nice.
when you buy these lasers, they literally send you a bucket and a fish pump, and you just fill it with distilled water and pump it around, and then after about 2 hours, the water is borderline hot. So it's like, this is not cooling the laser anymore, really.
No.
So you can see the power of the laser just dropping as the water that's cooling it is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So you end up putting blocks of ice in bags in the thing to try and cool the water down. Just like, this is stupid, buying a big cooler. And it's just like, when I came to buy it, it was like 70 quid more for the big one than it was for the smaller one. It's like, I'm just going to get another one of those. Because then at least I've got two the same. So if my CNC one ever broke, I could come and grab this one and
switch it
swap
out.
them over.
Nice.
If you can afford it, always have like duplicates of equipment, because then there's parts you can rip out of one and put in the other. So it's massively overspec for this laser. So it could definitely do my PC as well.
Right. That's a good call.
I've just got to put it in a different room though, because it's quite loud. It's not a subtle thing. It's built to cool industrial equipment. I mean, it's like, I never really realized how loud it was before, because I can't really hear it against my CNC machine, because it only kicks in when it's got to cool stuff. So it only really has to cool the CNC when the CNC is running. And when the CNC is running, it's screeching through wood. So you don't really hear how loud the cooler is. But when you're sitting in a room, it's quite loud. Did we start on the Xi'an Scout yet? Nope. Right.
Little is not his specialty.
It really isn't. It really isn't. Right. So we can draw the raffle, though. That's
raffle time.
We can definitely draw the raffle. Where did I put it?
Yes, the Xi'an Scout, huh? What do you think?
I think it'll be a pain in the ass. Right. So we are giving away the second artwork print. Drum roll. DJ Raff. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you can message me in Twitch or wherever, if you've bought something, or if you bought something, dioramas, just let me know your name and stuff. If not, send us your address and we'll just post it out to you. And yeah, congratulations! You have one beautiful artworky print. Woot indeed. So that's cool.
Very good.
So that's that. So yeah. So what's next?
What is next?
Carrack,
What's
I guess.
going on?
Let's get the. It's ramping up to the Carrack now. We have started the prints on it now. When are you back When are you back home?
The 22nd.
22nd, so you're going to be starting printing when you get back as well.
Yes,
Try
sir.
and increase our production a little bit. So that's cool. And yeah, no, just getting on with that now, really. I say we've got more of the silicon cast to do, so we can start casting the canopies. It's looking about. We want to start with 100 on the shelf, I think, realistically, which we're probably looking at about 40 to 45 days to be able to print. So that's roughly the time we're talking about till the Carrack's launch. We're going to do exactly as we've done this one, with them on the shelf, so we can launch it and it's ready to ship. It's just a lot less stress for us. And yeah, so that's the plan. We've not got. I say it's not much to do now except for actually get it done. Any dates in the cat? Yeah, I'd roughly say 40 to 45 days from now. So the prints are started, but there's an awful lot to print. We will set a date when we're a week or so. We will set a date, and then we'll stick to that date. So even if we get to that date and we haven't printed the whole 100, we've only got 80 or 90. It doesn't matter. We'll still put it on sale. We just have hit our sort of personal target of how many we want on the shelf to start with, but that's fine. But yeah, we're aiming for 100. So that was good. Yes, we do still have to get our final sign off on the art and stuff. So that's cool. But yeah, so we're not a long way off. And obviously we will now start on designing the next lot of models. So we'll probably start with the MSR and the other little dioramas, and then do the Hercules, and get all them out before the end of the year, which would be good. There's quite a lot to do because there's a lot of the models in this raft of dioramas that we've never done another model of. So like the cutlasses took a lot longer to do this time than the freelancers, because we already had a model for like the Max and stuff from the 1 to 200s, but we didn't have one for the cutlasses. So the cutlasses took a lot longer to do than the freelancers. So all of the ones in the next batch we don't have a model of already. So we've got to do all of them from scratch. So that will make it a little bit slower, but that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, any other questions, anyone? Thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute hoot.
Absolutely, it's been a great time.
It has indeed. We can't unfortunately take things out of pressure pots because that needs to sit for 8 hours. So we can't go ta-da. Things aren't. I should try and cast one like the night before, so we can open one up and then do another one, so we can see the whole process. I'll try and do that for Wednesday.
Cool.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to try and do one of these a day for the next week, so that we've got all the ones, so then we can do a full test with the new resin and everything, and try and pour 35 in one go, like a cooking show. Exactly. And here's one I baked earlier. Oh, my oven will be arriving soon as well. I've got the coolest oven arriving.
Yeah, you got to show him this. You got to show him this one. That's amazing.
Where is it? I'm gonna find it here. 1 second.
Hercules. So Genkin says, are you shipping them in order of serial number, or are you setting some of them aside?
So the dioramas aren't numbered, but the big kits we do them in the order that they are. The order that they are bought in. When we do the kit models, when we launch them, the first 10 people get free personalized boxes with 1 to 10 on. So that's always the thing. So yeah, but the dioramas aren't numbered. Starliner, can't do the Starliner. It's not in game. We have to wait till things are in game. But we obviously will do that when it's in, because I think that'll be a beautiful model. So I bought myself this. And I'm going to do Torpedo Burrito stickers for it. Because you just have to.
Because you have to.
Exactly. So the reason I bought this is because it's quite big. But basically, when you've put the clear resin into the pressure pot for an hour and a half, you have to take it out and you have to put it in an oven for 4 to 6 hours at 60 degrees Celsius, which currently I just put it in our normal kitchen oven, but I bought this to bring up here because this goes hot enough. This goes to 80 degrees, or between 55 and 80 degrees, you can control it. So this will be perfect for putting the casts, putting the molds in, to preheat them and to fully cure them. So I've got one of these for up here, so I can have my little burrito stand, which will be quite cool. Yeah, Aries. So this is the thing. So I do want to do the Aries quite quick. We'll probably be able to do it in 1 to 500 pretty quick. As a 1 to 100, I don't know how big it is. 1 to 100 might be quite huge. But realistically, once we get that model, it will take us about 6 months to turn that round into a full kit model. So maybe less time now. We are getting quicker, but between getting from us applying for a license to putting it on sale is usually at least 6 months, because the licensing process is quite long. Then we have to design it, then blah blah blah. So we can't get a license approved until the ship is done and in game. So there's no point applying for stuff that we know is coming, because until it's there, they don't give us it. So it's quite a long process. So we will do it as soon as we can. As I say, the 1 to 500s are less of a problem, because we don't need to do all the internals. We don't need to do a lot of the detailing on the outside. There's only a few panel lines on those small ships. Obviously, all the panel lines we have to draw on ourselves, and remodel all the exterior to put all the detailing back on the ships. So when you're doing a big model, that takes a long time. Yay! Well done, Citizen Down.
Right.
It's yes. So it's the they do take time. All these models take time. I say we cheated the freelancers a little bit because we already had a model of them, so we could, at least we had the model, and we just re-panel lined them with a different scaling of panel lining, i.e. we didn't do all the panel lines that we did on the 1 to 200 because it was too many. But yeah, we've got those decisions to make for all of the 1 to 500s, and we'll probably look at the 1 to 500s and go, right, okay, do we think we're ever going to do a bigger model of this ship? If not, we can do a faster fix on it than if we were. Because if we are going to go, well, we'll also probably do this in 1 to 200 or 1 to 100 one day, we'll go, right, okay, you know, we'll fix it in a way that we can then split off the pipeline so that we have a model that we can go and do the 1 to 100 with, and then we carry on with the 1 to 500. And what that means is that we're fixing geometry that we know we don't need for the 1 to 500, but we'll fix it anyway and then leave it, and then we've got it to come back to. Yeah. Yeah, we're always good at waiting in this community. It's a good thing. We would like to be more efficient than our parent daddies when it comes to these models. We're unlikely to ever be able to launch a model of a ship when it launches. There are probably some exceptional circumstances to that, but I can't see it, to be honest. I think we're always going to be launching ships quite a bit after they come into game. Just because of the amount of time it takes to take a Star Citizen ship and turn it into a real model, to the detail that we take it to. And every time we do it, we're doing more detail, sort of doing this ridiculous canopy on the on the Carrack and stuff. All of this stuff is a longer process to do all this detailing, doing the garage and everything on the underneath, and having the ramp and all. There's so much stuff to do on these models if you want to get that kind of detail in, but it is worth doing. It's always worth doing. So,
and you mentioned the arrow screen earlier, and just the difference between what we used to do and how we do it now. It's just progressing forward and making it better and putting as much detail as we possibly can fit in there. So,
and that's it. And a lot of it comes down to materials as well. These dioramas have only been made possible by Tough 2000 resin, which has not been out for very long. We actually ruled this sort of scale of model out because we thought it'd be too delicate. The Tough 2000 has made it possible because it's more ABS-like material, but the quality's still there with it. So these make much more robust models. So, these weren't on the cards until a year ago. And now the material exists to do it, and there are more materials like this stuff that we're going to play around with.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a ludicrously expensive material. But it's about $300 a liter or something. It's
$300 a liter. Yes,
it's ridiculous, but it's amazing. What will we use it for? Well, very small bits, to say the least, because of its cost. But
antennas, things like that.
Yeah, we're going to try it. So this is the interesting thing. There's two ways you can come at a material for doing things like antennas and guns. You can either go tough, which is what we've gone with at the moment, which is a very bendable material, so you can bend it, or a very, very strong rigid material that doesn't bend. When it does eventually flex, it will just shatter. But the hope is that this stuff is so strong that it'll just take the punishment. But we don't know, because we've never had, we don't know until we print something teeny tiny with it. Because that's the thing, some materials have really good properties when they're this sort of thick, and they've got a decent amount of strength to them. If we do a tiny thing with it, like a little model, what's it going to do? Is it going to be too brittle and too fragile?
Nobody knows. We don't know yet.
We don't know. But
you've got some. To find out. So for science.
For science, Drew has got some of this stuff for his printer. We have the same printer, so it's Drew's research and development a lot of the time, because our printers are constantly printing.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew is also going to be taking on some of our printing as well. So just as you're going to do the front of the fuselage, right?
The front fuselage, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a 25-hour print for 3 of the front of the Carrack. So that's the biggest issue we have with the timescale, in that every day we're only getting 3 front fuselages out of one printer. So it doesn't take a lot of maths to work out how long it takes to print 100 full Carracks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what did we work out? There's £36 worth of resin in the Carrack.
No.
You know, this resin's expensive. Even the cheapest resin we have, this model resin, is £144 a litre with VAT. Slightly cheaper in the US, but it's similar price, just because it's US and imported to here. But it's sort of £144 a litre. So, you know, the whole Carrack, when it's printed, is about £36 worth of resin. How many printers do we have? We have 7. So we've got 5 Formlabs Form 2 printers and 2 Formlabs Form 3 printers. Over the next couple of years, the idea is to try and start to transition to all Form 3 printers, because they are now better than the Form 2 printers. But once you've got the insurance, well, not insurance, the sort of warranty, extended warranty, and good service that you need to be able to run them professionally, they're roughly £4,000 each. So they are, they're £4,000 a printer, and then after 2 years, you're paying another £500 a year for the service plan to keep them, insured and under warranty. And if you're running them as hard as we do, literally 24 hours a day, 365 days, you do need them under warranty, because they will break eventually. And we've already broken 4 Form 3 printers in the very few, in the short amount of time we've had 2 of them. We've broken 4 of them. I think mainly, just teething issues, because they were brand new printers and there were things wrong with them. But when you print as heavy as we do, you find the issues with them. That's for
find
sure.
them quick, exactly.
That's for sure. So you definitely need the warranty packets on them. We've got one issue with ours at the moment. One of them's running slow. It's doing this weird thing with its x-axis. It's still printing fine, but it's pausing in between each layer that it shouldn't do, and it's not resulting in print lines, but it's just holding it for like 5 seconds before it dips it back in. And it's that whole thing of that 5 seconds in 2,000 layers adds up to hours. So they're currently working on fixing that. But I say it's still printing, but yeah. And Yunkar's right. We put about 500 to 1,000 hours into some of these models. Certainly the Carrack, I've been working on the Carrack for months, to get it to the stage it's at. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how simple the model is. We could get one from sort of Thingiverse. It would still cost the same amount to print. So it's still the same volume of material.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter how big the model is, or it doesn't matter how good the model is, it still costs the same amount to manufacture. So we try and make the model as amazing as possible, so that it's worth the money it costs to manufacture it. And yes, okay, it does. It does have a cumulative effect when it's a lot of sort of time for me to do that has to be factored into it, but it is stretched over sort of 500 models, so it's still better value for money. Resin level sensor quirky, it might be, and it's weird. The Form 2 Leipzig has a magical sensor. The Form 3 just has a float sensor in it, so it constantly dispenses resin as it needs. I think it's something wonky with the x-axis. It kind of makes a weird noise. I don't know. We'll find out. This is the great thing about having warranty packages. Formlabs are brilliant at getting these things sorted. I'd rather just make it work. And if they'll come back to me Monday and go, we don't know what's wrong with it. We've already posted you and your printer out, and they just hot swap it, and the one will arrive on Tuesday. If they don't have a clue about what it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll just send ours back, and that's fine. And that's just how they fix stuff. It's because if they can't obviously see what it is, they just hot swap it, and that's what you pay the £500 a year for, to have that. No, we don't have time. And when I don't know how big your farm has to be, but you go on to probably 10 printers plus, maybe 15 printers plus. You go onto a print farm warranty system, so you're just paying you're just paying a fee for the whole farm, and then when it gets to I think 25 printers, they actually send you a spare printer that sits in a box in the corner, and when you have a problem that they need to hot swap you just send them the printer and you undo the box and put that printer on the line, so you have zero downtime.
Wow, that's cool.
Which is cool, and their whole argument is, well, yeah, okay, these printers are £4,000 each when you've got the warranty pack, but even without it's £3,000 each. That's really cheap for a professional 3D printer. They sort of sit between, they're a bit like sort of Titan cards, GPUs. They sort of sit in between professional ones, like the Amperes, and the sort of hobbyist cards, like gaming cards. And their argument is, well, yes, you can get professional 3D printers, like industry 3D printers, that are 10 times the speed of a Formlabs printer. They are amazing, but they are 20 times the cost. So the idea is better to have 20 Formlabs printers, and you'll have a much bigger output than one £150,000 printer. And the issue that we've got with or the issue you have with one really expensive printer is it will still have mechanical issues, and when it does, you've got no printers. Whereas at least when a Formlabs printer breaks, and if you have 25 printers, inevitably you're going to have a failure every month at least, but you've still got 24 out of 25. And it's certainly, if you've got one ready to go, you don't even lose that. So I get the logic. I do get the logic. But... And the other thing is, there was, I can't remember what the printer was, but it prints like literally like 10, 15 times as fast as a Formlabs printer. It's like ludicrous. It's like a millimeter a minute or something, or it's ridiculous. It's so quick. And I was thinking about it and went, actually no, that's less efficient. Because if you have a printer that prints 20 times as fast, what happens at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day with a Formlabs printer, you put a print in it that's 12 hours long. So it prints overnight, and when you get in the next morning, it's only just finished, or it's still just finishing. In theory, when Cal's is very good at timing all these things, you work out. I say we've got some 24-hour prints, so it prints overnight. If you've got a stupid fast printer, best case scenario, it's finished at midnight and it sits there doing fuck all for 8 hours until someone comes into work the next morning. So you've actually got to man them with 24-hour staff to get them to print 24 hours a day.
Right.
Because I think this one, even if you did one that filled the print volume, it still only would take 2 hours. Because it's so quick. It's like, cool, so now it's doing fuck all half the night. So you spent £150,000 on a printer that's sitting idle a lot of the time. It's like, that is not efficient. Whereas at least with Formlabs printers, there's 25 printing at once on a 20-hour print. So it's like you produce more in a much smaller amount of time. So I do like the Formlabs theory. And the other great thing with Formlabs printers is, even out of the hugely professional printers, I still have never seen a printer with better surface quality than a Formlabs printer. And it's like, they are ludicrous. And I know exactly the reason why they're so ludicrous is because they have been designed specifically, ignore these gaps and holes, by the way, this is a very old print. This is the one that had the leak, isn't it? Yes, there's the little leak of resin,
the leak on the side,
we had a void inside it and all sorts. Outside my two really nice prints, John Crew's got now. Like the ones I actually built, I was sent to John Crew and our painters. They've got all my good ones, so I need to build some new ones. But yeah, the reason the surface quality is so good on these printers is they're predominantly used by the dental industry. When you look at like Formlabs printers, it's like a third of the resins are specific dental resins, and they're used for making teeth and casting stuff, and surface quality is such an important thing to the dental industry that's Formlabs' focus with these printers. So you get these amazing surface qualities because the dental industry needs that quality. So it works great for models because we have the same benefits. And yeah, they're more on the surface quality over the speed. That's why the Form 3 is actually slower than the Form 2, because they've actually traded a bit of speed for a bit more surface quality.
And I just wanted to say to you and Car that I wouldn't say that they're cheap. I say that they are printed on high quality printers at the best level of quality we can accomplish with the materials that we have, and they are very reasonably priced.
Yes, I think they're good value for money, but they're not cheap. And
exactly,
I think the thing is to be realistic and compare us against comparable companies. And what I mean by that is, don't compare us against Games Workshop, compare us against Forge World. I know they're the same company now, but compare us against people who are doing similar scales of production. and detail of model. And we've had plenty of people that have played with Forge World and ours and vastly prefer ours for both quality and build easy. I mean, you've only got to look at some like YouTube builds of Forge World models. Oh man, they come ropey. They come really ropey.
No.
You know, they are not great models. They're amazing when they're built, but there's a lot of work in them. At least our hope is with ours that, because there are some of you, there's at least a dozen people that have come to us like, we've never built a model before. You're the first models we've ever built, which is amazing. You know, we get
cool.
we get to actually be the first things that people have a modeling experience with. And we hope this is another great thing that these little guys do, because these are dead easy. These are really easy but really high detail, and this metallic paint scheme is a one color and one wash. And it picks out all of that panel lining, all of that detailing really nicely. We're going to do some tutorials on how to paint them. We've even thought about, I haven't talked to Cal's about this, so Cal's just put your fingers in your ears, even considered looking into maybe thinking about putting feelers out to see whether it would work, a paint kit. So a couple of brushes, couple of paints, what is required to basically do this paint job, the metallic paint, because then it works for every model, because it would be the same metallic thing. Might be a couple of color options, a gold, a bolt gun, a silver, all that kind of stuff. Brett, who is one of our painters that does all these paint jobs, or some of these paint jobs, Luprical's our other guy that does them, he owns a model shop, so he's looking into the logistics of shipping
I'm just happy to blame JR immediately, but if you insist, we will look at the
Phoenix, thanks for the follow.
Thank you very much. So the issue we have is it's us shipping paints internationally. That's where it comes down to. And we know we can't send blades and stuff like that. Yes, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. Exactly. In my defense, I was left unsupervised. Cal isn't here at the moment. She's down south. So all the crazy comes out. So
you can't see her hand coming in from the side to strangle you.
So yeah, in theory, they're water-based paints. So Brett thinks they'd be okay. He's checking with his stockists and stuff, because they'll know. So if it is the case that we could ship these sort of paints internationally,
I wonder who. It was JR.
That's right.
Fix that sound. It's so derpy. But thank you very much, Commander Fran, for the 100 little biddies. It would be nice to be able to go, right, okay, you've never done models, never painted before. Here, cool. Here's literally what you need to do this paint scheme, which I love this paint scheme. I love the metallic wash. I love how it picks out all the details that we've put into the models. You know, I'll just take it off the base and see underneath. It's not got landing gear in this one. Mustn't. The scanner's going to fall out because it has a little spinny scanner on the top. But like all of the engine detailing and stuff that just comes out so nicely with this wash. I say this is a single color paint and a wash. That's all that is. I defy people not to be able to do this as a paint job. So a couple of brushes, couple of water-based paints. Put the base in the right way with it. You know, and that is very attainable by people who haven't got a lot of modeling experience. So it'd be really nice to be able to send that as part of the kit as well. But yeah, it's cool. At the end of the day, we can't do it for no profit. But we don't want to rip you off by charging you way more for paints. At the end of the day, if you go and buy all the paints and the the stuff, at the end of the day, you will be able to find all those bits cheaper, I would think, even with us putting them together as a packet. But it's the convenience, and we kind of go, these paints work, this undercoat works, these brushes are great, and just go, this is what you need. And then we'd have like top-up kits for more of the paints, and I say maybe 3 different colors: a gold, a copper, and this Bolton maybe. Or so, the gold is really interesting because Brett's done one for me in gold that I can't show you because it was not a model that we've put out. And it's gold, and then the wash is purple.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it look gold. It's like, oh wow, yeah, it really does. Do you know what I mean? That is, it's weird, but yeah, the purple, because gold does have a slight purple sort of reflection to it, so it looks really, really awesome. And it's, you know, it's having just those as kits would work really, really nicely, I think. So, so that'd be good. Right, okay. If there's no more questions, we shall find someone to throw a raid to. I think.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great.
I need to go there. Raid. Who have we got? Bob Ross? No. Adorable Kittens? No. Astropub. Astropub seems a much better choice.
What was the ones with kittens?
If you've never watched, like, seriously, okay, if you are having a stressful day, just search for the Twitch channel Adorable Kittens, and it's I don't know where in the world these people are, but they breed cats, so they have like 4 or 5 rooms just with newly born kittens. So you just watch them. Just watch them flopping around and just being kittens, and they're just so stress relieving. No, we're going to go for Astropub because he tweeted at us today, and we're having a bit of a Twitter conversation with him regarding doing tabletop gaming with our models. So we'll throw him a raid. So we shall do that. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for purchasing models. Thank you for all the subs and all the amazingness. And I shall see you Wednesday, and we'll continue with probably new models by then. So enjoy. Say hi to Astro, and see you later, guys.
Hey, everybody.